Night Baseball on the show as you get a look there at Rogers Center here in Toronto. It's opening night 2013, and we've got a great matchup here between the Cleveland Indians and the Blue Jays.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Ep.2 Sports 15 here, and today we are back with episode number 2 of my Blue Jays franchise. You can see the matchup between the pitchers. We got Brett Myers up against our own Cy Young winner from last year in the National League, R.A. Dickey. But let's get right into the gameplay. Here we go. Right off the bat, R.A. Dickey walks the leadoff hitter, newly acquired center fielder Michael Bourne, and next up Michael Brantley would get a lucky grounder. It tailed off down the line, and Brett Lawrie had no chance at him at first because Michael Brantley has some speed. So next up, Nick Swisher, he's going to ground this one out to Brett Lawrie. He's going to tag Michael Bourne and throw on to first for the double play. Swisher bounces out into that double play, and that would end the inning. So now you can have a look at our lineups here in the first game of the season. I really like the new opening day aspects and stuff, like even in the playoffs. It's really cool. You can see our lineups there, pretty much the exact same lineups as the Jays, except for Brett Lawrie isn't injured in this, so we spotted him in the 5th spot and then bumped everybody else down 1 spot. So our second hitter of the game after Jose Reyes got out, Melky Cabrera gets a liner into center field for a base hit, and that would bring up Jose Bautista with a 1 out and a runner on first. And Melky Cabrera would be going on the pitch, and Jose Bautista rips this one down the line, stays fair, gets into the corner. Michael Brantley plays it really well off the wall, and the bad throw by Asdrubal Cabrera will let Melky Cabrera score, and Jose Bautista gets into second base. So Encarnacion up next, still only 1 out. He's gonna rip this one down the line. This one stays fair. Another great play off the wall by Michael Brantley will hold Edwin Encarnacion at first, but the run does score, and the Toronto Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead in the first inning. So now we move on after we got out a couple more times. R.A. Dickey back on the hill in the top of the second. He's going to get Asdrubal Cabrera, Jason Kipnis swinging, and that would be his first strikeout of the year. Hopefully more to come. Next up is Asdrubal Cabrera, and he's going to take a pitch, and that will be R.A. Dickey's second walk on the day. It's hard to control that knuckleball from R.A. Dickey, so that's why you give up quite a few walks with him. But that would be it for the top of the second. Now on to the bottom of the second. Emilio Bonifacio is going to get a base hit into left field, gets by Chisenhall, and that would be his first hit on the year. So next up, Aaron Sebia, and Bonifacio is going to steal second base, his first steal on the year. So I like the way my bottom of the lineup is playing small ball. Get on base with a slap hit and move over. But that would be it for that inning. Top of the third, 0-2 count, and Michael Bourne is going to chase that pitch outside, and R.A. Dickey will have his second strikeout on the day. I like to average about 6+ strikeouts a game for each pitcher at the bare minimum, so we'll hope to keep it around that. But here, top of the 4th, Carlos Santana takes this one deep to right field. Could it go? Yes, indeed it did. Jose Bautista didn't have the speed or the right timing to bring that ball back from the outfield. If I had a little more speed, I might have been able to get there, time my jump a little bit better. But Jose Bautista is a great player, just doesn't have that much of a speed aspect to his game, and that would allow Carlos Santana a home run, his first of the year. Will bring the Cleveland Indians into a 1-run ball game, making it a 2-1 game for the Toronto Blue Jays. But Dickey's still rolling on the hill, got a 3-2 count. He's going to walk the next hitter, and that would bring up a 1-out situation with runner on first. 2-0 count. Emilio Bonifacio on to Reyes over to the first baseman Adam Lind. Call it 2. That is a 4-6-3 double play, and we will be moving on back on the sticks. Kipnis makes a great play there, robbing Adam Lind of his first hit on the year. Kipnis had a great game defensively. I'm going to tell you that. I couldn't include all of his plays, but right here, another home run for the Cleveland Indians will bring the game to a tie as Drupal Cabrera goes deep left field for his first home run of the year and the Cleveland Indians' second of the ball game. So they're playing with the big bats, and we're playing a little bit of small ball with base hits, singles, doubles, and stolen bases. That's our game plan. I want to get away from the home run ball. We have the two big bats that can crush a lot of home runs, as well as Aaron Sebia. He can hit a few, but other than that, we pretty much are a speed team. I want to get my speed, a lot of speedy guys going. So here we go. After that bunt single by, I think that was Bourne. And then the next hitter would ground out into a 5-4-3 double play, just barely getting Michael Bourne at first base. Great feed by Brett Laurie onto Emilio Bonifacio. And that would be a 5-4-3 double play. So here, Aaron Sebia is going to take this one into the gap, and Mike Bourne will track that one down in the gap just in front of the wall, and he will be robbed of a gapper. So next up, Jose Reyes. We turn the lineup over. He's going to rip a base hit into left field. Love playing that slap game. He's going to get that by Chisenhall for his first hit of the year. So now we got the speed on first base, 87 speed, and before the prior pitch was a pitch out. So we knew that they weren't going to pitch out, so I decided to run with him. They didn't pick off at all, so Jose Reyes gets his first steal of the year, our second of the game for our team. So that would bring up Jose Bautista with a runner on second. He's going to drive this one into the left field, and he's going to drive in Jose Reyes, and he will be gunned out at second, but he did his job, drove in the run, and we would have a one-run lead heading into the top of the sixth. So here's top of the sixth, 2-2 count on Nick Swisher, and we're going to get him swinging. R.A. Dickey gets, I believe, his third K of the day. As I said before, I like to get around 6 Ks per game, and I think that would be really good. I think that's the more realistic amount of strikeouts, depending on if you have a good day or not. So Carlos Santana, he's going to rip a base hit up the middle. Colby Rasmus will feed that, throw it in, and they will get something started here in the top of the sixth. So still going, 1 out, and the next hitter is going to ground this one over, and this will be a 4-6-3 double brett our third double play of the game. Really like turning 2 with this team. We got a great middle infield, and Brett Laurie can also contribute into those double plays. And as I say, Brett Laurie, he's going to rip a base hit up the middle past the diving as Drupal Cabrera, and he will have his first hit on the year, I believe. And that would be a nice piece of hitting to take that one back up the middle. So now an 0-2 count on Colby Rasmus. He would get struck out by the slider from Brett Myers. And we would skip that other inning. Nothing really happened. So they would bring in Matt Capps to face us in the bottom of the 7th. With 1 out, Aaron Sebia is going to rip this one up the middle, but no, Kipnis makes a great play. That one could have been a gapper, probably a double, unless Michael Bourne, with his crazy speed, totally got that. But right here, with nobody on, Reyes is going to beat out a bunt single. Chisenhall, great defender, had no chance on that. Great bunt, great placed, and he has lots of speed. So next batter is Melky Cabrera, and he's going to move the runner up with a base hit. So now we have runners on first and second for our power guys. We got Jose Bautista up, 0-2 count. He's going to rip this one by the third baseman, Lonnie Chisenhall. That would score 1 run as the throw was offline, and Melky Cabrera is going to slip by, and he's going to move into third base, so even a pass ball can move him over to the plate for another run. So we have a 4-2 lead after that Jose Bautista single. Nothing happened in the rest of that inning. So 1 out in the top of the 8th, and I believe that was Lonnie Chisenhall. He's going to get a base hit into left field, and that would be closing in on the end of R.A. Dickey's day. If he can get out of this inning, that'd be really nice, and we could bring in Houston Street. So Brett Laurie is going to create the final out of the 8th inning, and we would move back onto the sticks for the top of the 9th. No, bottom of the 8th, sorry. We got Lowry, Lind, and Rasmus coming up. So hopefully we can get something going. With 2 outs, 3-2 count on Colby Rasmus. He's going to get a base hit into right field. No, Jason Kipnis having a Gold Glove showing in this game. Jason Kipnis, as I said earlier, had a great game with the glove at second base this game. And you can see the lines there. And that would be the end of R.A. Dickey's day. He went 8 innings strong. But we would bring in our newly acquired closer, Houston Street. And with a 1-2 count on Carlos Santana, he's going to get him swinging on the slider for his first strikeout on the year on his very first batter. So Houston Street, 0-2 count, 2 out. He's going to get Lonnie Chisenhall looking, and that would be the ball game, guys. I'm going to show the box scores after this, but there's a lot of celebration aspect to this game. I love the aspects that they brought to this year's game, like the interviews and stuff. Jose Bautista got the player of the game, I believe. He had 3 RBIs and I think a 3-hit game. He was pretty much our biggest performer this game. Drove in those early runs and those late runs to prevail us past these Cleveland Indians for our first win on the year. R.A. Dickey gets the win as he went 8 innings. Houston Street gets the save, and I believe Brett Myers gets... No, it might have been Matt Capps who got the loss. You'll see in the box scores. So you can see Houston Street there celebrating after he gets his first save on the year. You can see the stat line there. We had 11 hits up against the Cleveland Indians, 7 hits. A 4-2 ball game is pretty realistic, so I'm really liking these sliders. You could see there how many strikeouts and stuff R.A. Dickey had, but we will also be bringing up the box score. So right here, Jose Bautista getting his player of the game interview. And yeah, you can see his stat line in a second. He had 4 at-bats. He went 3 for 4, 1 run, a double, and 3 RBIs. A great performance by the Toronto Blue Jays all-star outfielder. So you can see the stat line right here. I forget who's... Yeah, Brett Myers got the loss. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 8 hits, and he struck out 3. And then you can see the stat line there. Reyes had a 2-hit game. Cabrera had a 2-hit game. If you really wanted to, you could pause the game there. And you can see R.A. Dickey had 5 strikeouts, which is pretty close to what I wanted him to have. He gave up 3 walks, 2 earned runs. Both of them were earned and 1 hit. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.